A very good evening. Today we would discuss data sufficiency problems. Now these are new kinds of problems which are asked for your UPSC prelims CSAT paper. In the previous sections we had seen problems which were not directly related to data sufficiency. However, the 2020 paper had questions on data sufficiency and therefore this topic becomes an important topic to practice. Now note, when you are solving problems on data sufficiency, it's important that you don't need to solve the complete question. There is no requirement to solve the complete question. You just need to know the basic concept. So there is a lot of time that can be saved with data sufficiency question, and you can utilize that time for reading comprehension. So for example, here is a very simple question. The question says the total cost of 10 identical cups and 10 identical drawers needs to be calculated. For me, there are two statements which are given. One is the cost for 6 cupboards and 4 drawers, and the other is 4 cupboards and 6 drawers. So let me do it as 6C plus 4D is equal to 490. That's my first equation. The second equation is 4C plus 6D drawers is equal to 560. Now, what is the simple logic we use here? The simple logic is there are two variables. To solve any problem in algebra which have two variables, we require two equations. Now, what I can do is multiply the above 1 by 2, the below 1 by 3. Excuse me. And then I can cancel out the cupboards and find out the difference for the drawers, calculate the cost per drawer, and then solve it. But here you don't need to solve it. The only condition we need to identify here is to identify or to solve this, we require two equations. With statement 1 and statement 2, we have two equations and together they are sufficient to solve the problem. So the correct answer would be C. This is a simple logical problem on algebra. So we have linear equations with two variables. Now these linear equation with two variables, we require both the statement, both of them are sufficient, but neither of them is sufficient alone. If I just use equation 1, I cannot solve it. If I simply use equation 2, I cannot solve it. I require both the equations in order to solve this question. Clear? So this was the first type of question that we discussed. Let's move to another question. Now here, again a very simple question. The cost of certain phone call was rupees 0.75 for first 3 minutes and then 20 paisa for each additional minute after 3 minutes. Did the phone call last more than 15 minutes? What would be the cost? How would we calculate? Here again, for the first 3 minutes, for the first 3 minutes it was 75 paisa or 0.75 rupees. Now we have to go till 15 minutes. Till 15 minutes means 15 minutes minus first 3 minutes, which is already 0.75, which gives you remaining 12 minutes. Now for this remaining 12 minutes, every minute it is 0.2. So 12 into 0.2, which is 2.4. Now what I do is 2.4 plus 0.75. So my rate would be 3.15. So my call rate for any call which lasts longer than 15 minutes would be more than rupees 3.15. Now, first statement says that the phone call was less than 4.16. I don't know what was the call duration. It just says it is longer than 15 minutes. It can be 20 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hour, we don't know. So this statement alone cannot be sufficient. The next is the cost of the phone call was greater than rupees 3.05. Definitely yes. So it is 3.15. So it is greater than 3.05. So second statement is correct. So here we have second alone is sufficient, but 1 alone is not sufficient. Okay. This is the basic concept you need to understand. Now data sufficiency problems, note they are not conclusion problems. You have to understand which condition is required to prove it. Clear? Now next question is, if n is a member of set 16, 19 and so on, what is the value of n? Now, if n is even, what could be the values from the given set? It could be 16, 22, 24, then 36 and 42 if n is even. If n is multiple of 3, it can be 21, it can be 24, 27, 36 and 42. Now, in this case, statement 1 does not fulfill all the values. So, this value is not fulfilled, this value is not fulfilled, this value is not fulfilled. For statement 2 again, I would have the first two values which are not fulfilled. So, even if I use both the statements, I cannot say the exact value. Okay. So, here both the statements are not sufficient to answer this problem. So, neither I can come on to the answer with 1, neither I can come on to the answer with 2 statement. Both of them are not sufficient because even if I combine both of them, there are some values which are still remaining, and therefore D becomes the right answer, right causal. So, let's move on to the next question here. Coming on to next question. Here, a store chain agreed to donate certain dollars to a homeless charity for every loaf of bread that its store had sold during the Help the Homeless week. Now here, what is the total amount which is expected to be donated? Now let's say if there is one loaf, okay, against that one loaf which can cost, let's say, rupees $10, you can have $1 against charity. We do not know. So the dollar amount for charity is X. Okay. Now, how many loaves are there? Total of 5,000 loaves are there. So, 5,000 into X would be the total amount which would be given to the charity. Now, this would equal to, what is the actual amount which is donated, which is 2500, minus 120 more loaves were sold than expected. So, I would say 2500 minus 120x. Now, I have an equation here, but I can have this equation to solve the value of x only and only if I take both the statements into consideration. With the first statement, I have only the left hand side. With the second equation, I have the right hand side. I need both the left hand side and the right hand side in order to solve this problem. And therefore, both the statements are required and neither alone is sufficient to solve this problem. Clear? A very direct, very simple question. You have to be a bit vigilant while solving questions like this. And these are really scoring questions. Let's move on to next question. So here, next question is, okay, so this is done. Let's move to the next question. The next question is a very interesting question. Now, the participant in the race consists of 3 teams and these 3 teams have 3 runners each. So, let's say I have team A, B and C. Runner 1, 1 and 1. Runner 1, 1 and 1. 1, 1 and 1. So, that's the total number of runners, 9 runners. Okay. The teams are awarded 6 minus n points if one of its runners finished at nth place where n is greater than or equal to is more than or equal to 1 but less than or equal to 5. That means first runner scored how much? 6 minus n. Okay. So first runner is scored, for example, 5. Second runner would score what? 4 marks. Third runner would score 3. Fourth runner would score 2 and the fifth runner would score 1 point. So these are the points which are scored by the first 5 runners. Total 9 runners. Points by the first 5 runners are given here. Now, the question says if all of the runners finish the race and if there were no ties, there were no runner with equal marks, all of them finished the race and these were the points of the first 5 runner, was each team awarded at least 1 point? Now, I have to prove that each team must get at least 1 point. Let me pick up the first sentence. The first sentence says, no team was awarded more than total of 6 points. So let's say what can be the combination? I can have 5 and 1 as one of the combinations because no team was awarded more than 6 points. So I can have this team as 1, this as another team, 3 as another independent team. I can have another combination of 3, 2 and 1. Okay, so these are the various combinations. So if I take that no team was awarded more than a total of 6 points, that means I can easily say there are 3 teams and each team would go or would have at least 1 point, because even if I consider this as an independent team, I can have more points with other teams, but again I have to see that no team was awarded more than a total of 6 points. So 6 points is the cap. That's the maximum number of points. So I can have the first runner and the fifth runner together. I can have the second runner and the fourth runner together, or I can have the third, fourth and fifth runner together. So they would have 6 and no more than 6. So here, by this, I would assure that each team would be getting at least 1 point. So definitely statement 1 is correct independently. Both of them together are not required. This alone is sufficient. But let me check on to other statement. The other statement says no pair of teammates finished in consecutive places among the top 5. That means it was team A, B, A, or B, C, B. Okay, whatsoever the combination was, but no pair finished consecutively. So these two do not belong to the same team, these two do not belong to the same team, and these two do not belong to the same team. In this case, I can create a possibility that one of the cases can be true, but this is not a condition to have at least getting awarded 1 point. Okay, so this is not the condition. It's just one of the possibilities that can be there. But in most of the cases, you would see if I'm arranging alternately, no pair of teammates finished in consecutive places among the top 5. Then if I arrange it alternatively, then there can be chance that one of the teams is totally left off and there is no point which is assigned to the team. And even when I'm considering this, I can take points more than 6. So don't get confused there. While I'm solving statement 2, there is no capping for maximum 6 points. Okay. If I want to say that statement 2 is independently correct, there is no capping for 6 points. So I can have the arrangement as A, B and A. So A can have 5, 3 and 1 and B can have 4 and 2. So it can be 5, 3 and 1, which is 9 points for team A. And it can have 4 and 2 for 6 points for team B. Now it would be 0 points for team C. So my condition here is not fulfilled. Clear? So therefore B option becomes incorrect. B option or B statement alone is not sufficient. So second becomes incorrect. Choice C becomes incorrect. So statement 1 alone is sufficient, but 2 alone is not sufficient. That's the correct option. Each statement alone is again not sufficient. Yes, Kaushal. So this was a difficult question that we had taken, and usually expect questions like this. So we started with easy ones and came up to little difficult questions for your CSAT. So this was your section for CSAT. On the Saturday live class, which is the last live class before your prelims examination, we would be doing certain questions on maths, specifically probability questions, which are commonly asked for your CSAT paper. Reading comprehension, we have done a lot of practice, and below are some of the links that can be further helpful. In case you have any questions or doubts, feel free to connect back to us. Wish you very good luck for your preparation. Work hard and focus on the recent events. Specifically, I repeat, down to earth, Investopedia are some of the important sources that you must refer during the last time. Wish you very good luck.